Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're going to be talking about Saturn. And I think Saturn is a good planet for us to talk about. Because I think it's interesting rings. This is probably one of the only planets I talked about on the show about a planet having rings. So, let's get started. First off, I think that Saturn is bigger than Earth because, think about it. Earth's weight is a whole lot. Like, a lot lately. But I think Earth's mass times 95.16 equals that. So, that is big. Bigger than what I thought about recently. So it's about 568 maybe 568 or yeah. When I think about how much I think about its large numbers. So, what I was getting ready to say is so that's like 568 what do you say, quintillion 319 quintillion by billion kilograms. That's a whole lot. That's like, if you add that number, divided it by 95.16, that's what you get Earth's mass, I believe. However, its diameter is about 120,536 kilometers. The polar diameter, however, is about 108,728. And I believe the difference of that, guys, well, we'll find out. It's about 11,808 as the difference. 11,808 kilometers. Its circumference of the equatorial is about 365,882 kilometers. That's a lot bigger than 120,536 kilometers. There are 62 moons. Most moons than any other planet I talked about on the show. Its moons are Titan, Rhea, and Enceladus. And there's 7 groups of 30 rings and more. Well, maybe 35, I believe. But its orbit distance is about so maybe say this. That's about 1,426,666,422 kilometers as its distance orbitally. Its period is about 10,755 or maybe around 10,756 Earth days, or 29 Earth years. That's a long time. Its surface temperature is about negative 139 degrees Celsius. If we convert that into Fahrenheit, that's about negative 218 degrees. That's cold. However, it was first recorded around 700 BC by the Assyrians. As I say, it's big. But Saturn can be seen with the naked eye. It's the fifth brightest object in the solar system. It's easily studied through binoculars or a small telescope. See? Well, maybe that. But it was known for the ancients, including the Babylonians and Far Eastern observers like Iraq. It's named for the Roman goddess, or Roman god, also known as a man, Saturnus. It was known to the Greeks as Cornus. Saturn is the flattest planet around. So, its polar diameter is about 90% of its equatorial diameter. This is due to its low density and fast rotation. Like, ding! And it's low density. So it's not dense. Low dense. So Saturn turns on its axis once every 10 hours and 34 minutes. That's like shorter than half of a day. Given that the second shortest day of any of the solar system planets. Excuse me. But Saturn orbits the Sun about 29.4 Earth years. So pretend this is the Sun, and Saturn's only orbits to this around 29 Earth years. Or say like this. That's how it does, however. But its slow movement against the backdrop of stars earned it the nickname of Labachicus. From the ancient Assyrians, the name means oldest to the old. Oldest to the old. But Saturn's upper atmosphere is divided into bands of clouds. The top layers are mostly ammonia ice. If you guys don't know what ammonia is, it's like a compound of nitrogen and hydrogen. Well, it has a characteristic pungent smell. Colorless gas. That's what ammonia is. Below them, the clouds are largely water ice. Not ammonia ice, however. Below are layers of cold hydrogen and sulfur ice mixtures. So that's like cold atomic number 1 and atomic number maybe 16 or so. So I think sulfur is atomic number 16, I believe. So that's like if you mix sulfur, ice, and hydrogen, you create a mixture that's below ice of ammonia and water. But Saturn has oval-shaped storms, similar to Jupiter, what I talked about in Science Talk episode 1, I believe. But the region around its north pole has a hexagonal shape pattern of clouds. That's like 6 sides. But scientists think this may be a wave pattern in the upper clouds. Ammonia ice clouds, I believe. The planet also has a vortex over its south pole that resembles a hurricane-like storm. That means it can probably do some damage, I believe. But Saturn, the recipe for Saturn, is made out of hydrogen, mostly. It exists in layers that get denser farther into the planet. Eventually, deep inside, the hydrogen becomes metallic. At the core lies a hot interior. Like, ouch! That's how hot it is. But Saturn also, believe it or not, has the most extensive rings in the solar system. The rings of Saturn are made mostly of chunks of ice and small amounts of carbonaceous dust. That's like carbon dust. The rings stretch out more than 120,700 kilometers from the planet. Jeez. So, that's like, that's like about 75,000 miles 74,999.5. So that's approximately 75,000 miles. How long is that? But they're thin. Thin. About 20 meters thick. That's flat to a planet. So, yeah. That's thick. Thick, thick. However, Saturn has about 150 moons, so it's probably wrong. Believe it or not. And there's lots of small moonlets. All are frozen worlds. The largest moons are Titan and Rhea. Enceladus appears to have an ocean below its frozen surface. I didn't know that. No, I didn't do that. No, I didn't know that. Excuse me. Titan is a moon with complex and dense nitrogen-rich atmosphere. It is composed mostly of water, ice, and rock. Its frozen surface lakes of liquid methane and landscapes covered with frozen nitrogen. Frozen. So I'll probably get cold down there, if I say. Planetary scientists consider Titan to be a possible harbor for life, but not Earth-like life. But 4 spacecrafts have visited Saturn. Number 1, Pioneer 11. Now, Pioneer 11 is probably one of those spaceships that have came around. According to the internet, it's about 1973 when it was first launched down to space. Number 2 and 3, Voyager 1 and 2. One came out in 1977. The second came out in 1977 as well. And finally, number 4, the Cassino spacecraft, or Hughes. It was launched out in 1997. That's like about 18 years ago. And about maybe 37 years ago for Pioneer 11. Or, no, not Pioneer 11, the 2 Voyagers. Pioneer 11 was about 42 years ago. That's like a long time from now. I wasn't even born by that time. But Cassini continues to orbit Saturn, sending back a wealth of data about the planet, its moons, and finally, its rings. Well, alright guys, that's all I've got today. Tomorrow's episode will be on Mars. Alright, so, see you guys next time. Have a good day. Take care.